Thousands of years ago, long before America existed, and before anyone had ever heard the name Woodstock, this region was covered with dense forests, clear rivers, and beautiful mountains. Native American tribes, especially the Esopus people and other Algonquian tribes, lived here. To them, the land was not merely a place to live, it was a sacred trust. They hunted, farmed, and lived in harmony with nature. Back then, the area was not called Woodstock. Every forest, river, and hill had its own native name, many of which have been lost with time. During the 17th century, European settlers arrived in North America. First the Dutch, and later the English took control of the region. At that time, the area became part of the British colonies. During the reign of King Charles II, 1660 to 1685, the land came under British rule. Later, Kings George II and George III also ruled over the colonies. Forests were cleared, farms were created, and small settlements began to emerge. Winters were harsh, diseases were common, and life was difficult, but people held on to hope as they built new homes and communities. When war broke out between Britain and the American colonies, King George III sat on the British throne. In 1783, Britain was defeated and the United States gained its independence. The Woodstock region then became part of the state of New York. Farmers, lumbermen, blacksmiths, and small business owners settled there. Dirt roads and horse-drawn wagons were part of everyday life, and neighbors shared each other's joys and sorrows. At the beginning of the 20th century, Woodstock was a quiet town, but its natural beauty attracted painters, poets, writers, and musicians. Artists from around the world came to the area. Surrounded by mountains and forests, they found inspiration and turned their dreams into reality. Despite world wars and economic hardships, the people of Woodstock continue to support one another and preserve the town's creative spirit. In 1969, the name Woodstock captured the attention of the entire world through the legendary Woodstock Music Festival. Although the festival itself was held some distance away from the town, the name Woodstock became forever etched in history. Heavy rains turned the grounds into mud, food became scarce, and conditions were challenging, but hundreds of thousands of young people helped one another. They chose love over hatred, and music became a message of peace and unity for a generation. In 1969, the name Woodstock captured the attention of the entire world through the legendary Woodstock Music Festival. Although the festival itself was held some distance away from the town, the name Woodstock became forever etched in history. Heavy rains turned the grounds into mud, food became scarce, and conditions were challenging, but hundreds of thousands of young people helped one another. They chose love over hatred, and music became a message of peace and unity for a generation. The forests were still silent. The rivers flowed peacefully, just as they always had. But beyond the horizon, a new world was slowly moving toward this land. In 1609, the explorer Henry Hudson reached this part of North America. His voyage drew the attention of the powerful Dutch Republic. Soon afterward, Dutch traders began arriving. They came to trade animal furs. At first, friendship existed between the native tribes and the Dutch merchants. They exchanged goods and lived side by side. But with time, land became more valuable. Every newcomer wanted more territory. Every powerful king dreamed of expanding his empire. At that time, the Netherlands was ruled by different leaders, whose representatives governed the colony known as New Netherland. The native tribes hoped that life would remain the same, but destiny had written a different story for them. Then, in 1664, everything changed. King Charles II of England ordered the seizure of the territory. English warships sailed into New Netherland. The Dutch authorities offered little resistance, and so the region became part of the British Empire. The transfer happened without a bloody war, but its effects would be felt for generations. During the reign of King Charles II, the land began to take on a new identity. More settlers arrived, forests were cleared, farms appeared, small wooden homes rose among the trees. Then the 18th century arrived. In 1702, Queen Anne became the ruler of Great Britain. During her reign, more settlers crossed the ocean every year. They came with dreams of a better life. They built farms. They hoped to create a brighter future for their children. Winters were harsh. Snow covered everything. Sometimes food was scarce. Diseases spread through the settlements. But people refused to surrender. They helped one another. They built small churches. They began educating their children. No one could imagine that centuries later, this quiet region would become famous around the world. But the story was far from over. More British kings would come, wars would be fought, a revolution would be born, and a new nation, the United States of America, would rise on the map of the world. But for now, the forests remained silent, and the story of Woodstock was still only in its opening chapters.
The 18th century had begun. The forests were no longer as silent as they once had been. Small settlements were appearing. New families were arriving from Europe. They brought their dreams with them. They were escaping poverty and searching for a new life. They wanted a better future for their children. In 1702, Queen Anne became the ruler of Great Britain. During her reign, the American colonies continued to grow.
People settled on new lands. Forests were cleared. Fields were created. Horse-drawn wagons traveled along rough roads. Slowly, the population around this region began to increase. In 1714, King George I ascended the throne. Britain's power was expanding. Trade with the colonies was growing. But life for ordinary people was still far from easy. Winters were harsh. Disease was common. Sometimes a single illness could wipe out an entire family. Yet people refused to give up. In 1727, King George II became ruler.
During his reign, the number of settlers increased more than ever before. Small towns began to appear. People farmed the land. They cut down trees and built homes with their own hands. Children worked alongside their parents. Every day brought new challenges. Then, in 1760, King George III became King of Great Britain. No one knew that his reign would witness a great war. Britain began imposing new taxes on its American colonies. People grew angry. They complained that they were being taxed without representation. Slowly, frustration turned into resistance. Then, in 1775, war erupted. It was the American Revolution. Ordinary farmers, laborers, and young men became soldiers. They chose to fight against the most powerful empire in the world. Fear spread everywhere. Every mother prayed for her son. Every wife waited for her husband's return. Many people died in the war. Many children became orphans. But the dream of freedom remained alive. The war continued for years. Then, in 1783,
It was during this period that new settlements in the New York region began to grow rapidly. Farmers cultivated the land. Wooden houses were built. Neighbors helped one another. Life was difficult, but hope remained alive. The laughter of children echoed through the forests. At night, families gathered around the fire and shared stories. No one knew that in the centuries to come, this very region would one day be known by the name Woodstock, a name that the entire world would recognize. But the story was far from over. The true Woodstock had not yet been born, and the 19th century was bringing with it a whole new chapter. The American Revolution was over. The age of kings had come to an end on this land. Now people wanted to write their own destiny. The dawn of the 19th century arrived with new hope. The forests were still there. The mountains stood in silence. The rivers flowed as they always had. But human life was changing. In 1787, the area was officially given the name Woodstock. It is believed that the name was inspired by the town of Woodstock in England. Slowly, people began to settle here. At first, most of them were farmers. Some worked in the timber business. Some were blacksmiths. Others were small merchants. The walls of their homes were made of wood. Candles lit their nights. The roads were rough and unpaved. Horses and wagons were the only means of travel. Everyone knew each other by name. If sickness entered one home, the entire village came together to help. If someone's crops failed, neighbors shared their grain. It was a small world, where wealth was scarce, but love was abundant. During the winters, snow covered the entire region. Children played in the white fields. Families gathered around the fire and listened to stories. Grandparents shared tales of their ancestors, and the children listened with wonder in their eyes. In the 1830s and 1840s, more families began arriving. The population slowly grew. Small schools were established. Parents wanted their children to receive an education. They dreamed that the next generation would live better lives than they had. But life was not always easy. Some years brought famine. At times, diseases spread through the community. Harsh winters tested people's strength. Yet hope never died. Then, in 1861, the United States entered the Civil War. Many young men from Woodstock joined the army. Mothers wept as they said goodbye to their sons. Wives prayed for the safe return of their husbands. Some soldiers came home, but others never returned. Their memories survived on.
The 19th century had come to an end. A new century was beginning. No one knew that this small town would one day become famous around the world. At the dawn of the 1900s, Woodstock was still a peaceful and beautiful place. Towering mountains, dense forests, and quiet roads drew people toward it. Then, some special people began to arrive. They were not farmers. They were not soldiers. They were artists. They were poets. They were painters. They were musicians. They were searching for peace, far away from the noise of the cities. In 1902, an English-born artist named Ralph Whitehead came to Woodstock. He dreamed of creating a place where art and beauty could flourish. Slowly, painters and sculptors from many places began to settle here. Through their creativity, they gave this quiet town a new identity. Then came the First World War. In 1914, the world was consumed by conflict, yet the people of Woodstock stood together and supported one another. Eventually, the war ended. People breathed a sigh of relief. But in 1929, another disaster struck. The Great Depression swept across America. Businesses closed. Many families fell into poverty. Countless people watched their dreams disappear. Yet, the people of Woodstock did not give up. They continued helping one another. Then came the Second World War. In 1941, the United States entered the war. Young men from Woodstock joined the military. Mothers cried quietly. Wives waited for their husbands to return. Many came home, and some fell silent forever. In 1945, the war finally ended. The world had changed, and Woodstock was changing with it. During the 1950s and 1960s, a new generation emerged. They were tired of war. They longed for peace. They longed for love. They dreamed of a better world. During these years, many famous musicians and artists began living near Woodstock. Their songs carried hope. Their dreams imagined a brighter future. Then came 1969. No one knew that this year would become part of history. In August 1969, an extraordinary music festival was held. Although the event itself took place in Bethel, New York, not in the town of Woodstock, it became known as the Woodstock Festival. More than 400,000 people gathered there. Rain poured from the sky. The ground turned to mud. Food became scarce. Roads were blocked. Yet something remarkable happened. People did not fight one another. They shared their food. They helped strangers. They shared love. They found peace through music. For 3 unforgettable days, the world witnessed something extraordinary. Hundreds of thousands of people stood together, but hatred was nowhere to be found. There was only love, only peace, only hope. And in that moment, the name Woodstock echoed across the world. A small town became a symbol of humanity's dreams, love, and peace. But time never stands still. The decades ahead would bring many. The historic festival of 1969 had come to an end. The rain had stopped.
The mud had dried. People had returned to their homes. But the name Woodstock was no longer just the name of a small town. It had become a symbol of hope. It had become a symbol of love. It had become a symbol of peace. During the 1970s, people from all over the world began coming to Woodstock. Some wanted to see the place whose name had become part of history. Some came in search of peace. Some arrived carrying dreams of music, and others simply wanted to see the mountains and forests that had inspired so many artists. Slowly, the town continued to grow. New shops opened. Small cafes appeared.
Art galleries were established. Music centers came to life. Yet Woodstock never lost its old spirit. It remained a peaceful place, a place where people still knew one another, a place where the mountains turned golden beneath the evening sun, a place where autumn painted the trees in shades of red and gold. During the 1980s and 1990s, the world changed rapidly. Computers arrived. The internet connected people across the globe. Cities became larger and busier, but the spirit of Woodstock still carried the fragrance of the past. As time passed, the older generation grew old. Those who had witnessed the summer of 1969 slowly left this world, one by one. Their memories remained in photographs. Their voices survived in old recordings, and their dreams were passed on to new generations. Today, thousands of people call Woodstock home. It is a beautiful town in the state of New York. Visitors come from around the world. Artists still come here seeking inspiration. Musicians still come here chasing dreams. And the mountains stand as quietly as they did centuries ago.
Those forests that once watched the native tribes also witnessed the age of British kings. They saw the American Revolution. They saw wars. They saw moments of joy. They saw tears. They saw love. They watched generations of dreamers come and go. And perhaps that is the most beautiful thing about Woodstock. It was never the kingdom of a mighty ruler. It was never the city of a conqueror. It was a home built by ordinary people, by farmers who carved homes out of the forests, by mothers who prayed for their children, by artists who painted dreams with colors, and by musicians who shared messages of love and peace with the world. Time changed, people changed, generations came and went, but the story of Woodstock still lives on. When the evening wind brushes through the trees, when the birds return to their nests, when the sun disappears behind the mountains, it almost feels as though the past is whispering softly. We are gone, but our stories remain. And perhaps stories never